Hey there, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time today to check out how things went with the November makeup bag. Let's try to speak today, shall we? It was a really big roller coaster of a month. I feel very accomplished at what I was able to do. I had some setbacks, so overall, I do still feel really good about what I was able to accomplish. I was able to bring in some more things from my backup stash, so let's do it. Let's get to it. The first thing that I'm just about done with was my primer. This is an airless pump that I purchased off of Amazon, I believe. I'll go on and link it in the description box below if you're also curious. I think they run like $10 or $12, or I've even seen them as affordable as $9. But what I did, I used to have a Rimmel foundation in here. And so when I finished the foundation, I went on and I cleaned out the inside as best as I could. And then you just take kind of a sharp object to push the rubber stopper back down into the bottom. And so I filled it with, I want to say it was like two and a half tubes of the LA Color silicone primer. They come in teeny tiny tubes like that, and so I wanted to kind of maximize my use on those, and so that's what I was going for with my primer. And as you can see, I am just about to the top. It's getting to the point where I have to pump multiple times just to get out a tiny little bit of primer, so that is a really satisfying feeling. And I know it doesn't look the prettiest with what's left over of the foundation. I cleaned it out as best I could, so I would suggest if you do airless pumps like this to make your foundations a little bit easier. If you're transferring them to an airless pump like this, go on and stick with foundation from then on out, instead of trying to switch to lotions or primers or things like that, just so it doesn't get that kind of like nasty, foundation tinge to everything. I didn't care because I mix it with foundations, but just kind of food for thought if you ever want to try these down the road. Because I know if I ever do another one for primer again, I think I'm going to go on Amazon and just purchase another one. So just kind of a sidebar there. Foundation, I was able to finish off my very last tube of the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. Thank you so much for everybody who has suggested the Rimmel foundation. That is on my radar to check out because I have fallen in love with the moussey texture. I'm going to want to try the new Revlon foundation that has just been released, because I was about ready to try some new foundations anyway, and then I'm going to try out that Rimmel. So thank you so much for the suggestions. I love this. I'm going to miss having this in my collection because Maybelline's decided to discontinue it, but I did enjoy every last little bit that I could get out of this squeezy tube. I even got to the point where I was like shaking it to get all of the product down in the bottom, and it is completely done. So awesome feeling. Then let's get to the eye makeup, because it was a rough month. I had a lot of shadows expire on me. So in terms of Pan That Palette, I will be making a finale video coming up at my normal Pan That Palette schedule time, which is like the mid of December. I'll do it before things kind of start getting crazy with Christmas. Because I have learned a lot from this year of using this palette. But this past month, I had a lot of eye irritations from wearing the old eyeshadow. It's definitely expired, and I had to pay the consequences of that by, it wasn't full conjunctivitis status, but I definitely was not able to wear makeup for quite a while, especially during Thanksgiving break, because I was dealing with constant irritation, that itchy gunkiness. That's something we're going to talk about moving forward, of just kind of dealing with expired makeup, and why that is another great motivator to continue kind of shopping our stashes and working through project pans and things like that, because stuff goes bad. It sucks, but it is what it is. So I used this palette, but I had to just eventually get to the point where I said goodbye, and because of that, I had to throw out quite a few of the products that I was also using. So in terms of mascara, I had this CoverGirl Lash Blast Amplifying Primer. I love the formula, but like I said, since I dealt with the eye irritations and I had so much inflamed areas around my eyes and everything, I don't trust any of the eye makeup that I was using at the time as well. So I went on and I chucked this primer. I also had a sample size tube of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara that I was working on from October. I finished that. I went on and purchased the CoverGirl Lash Blast Active Mascara that I really, really liked the formula of this. But again, when my eyes started getting really itchy and irritated, I wanted to go on and throw this out because there's no way that I can sanitize this. Liner, I was using a blue liner from L'Oreal, the Infallible Longwear Eye Pencil in the shade Cobalt Blue on my lower lash line. I don't trust it. I mean, yes, I could sanitize it and sharpen it, but I also wondered if this was part of the contributing problem because I especially dealt with tons of irritation on my lower lash line, and I know that the blue eyeshadow was to blame for a lot of it, but I don't know if this made me react as well, so not testing it. And then I was also using the Voluminous Original Mascara in the shade Cobalt Blue as well from L'Oreal. It's mascara. You know, I wasn't the biggest fan of this. I actually prefer the hard candy formula to the L'Oreal, so I'm kind of bummed I had to go on and put this in the, you know, the empties, but like I said, I don't trust using that mascara after dealing with so much eye irritation. So, you know, what can you do? And because of that, I didn't get anywhere out of my ColourPop shadows this past month because for the most part I was wearing my Take Me Into 2019 items. So I'll go on and link that update video up here in the card above. I'll also link it in the description box below because I have some set goals for myself and I've got 1 month left in that. So I've really dedicated the time. And because I didn't wear makeup for a good, it was like 4 or 5 days that I was, you know, letting my eyes rest and doing hot compresses and things, I did not get a chance to wear these. So I'm kind of glad I didn't get a chance to wear them because otherwise I think that they would have been impacted by having brushes and things. So P.S. and by the way, I have washed all my brushes. I've sanitized all my powders, scraped off the tops of them and done all that. So far so good, but I am keeping a close observation on my makeup from here on out. Just because it sucked. It sucked. So that's kind of where we are with the eye makeup. I was also able to finish off a CoverGirl brow pencil in the shade Soft Brown. I really do like this, and this is definitely going to be put again on my repurchase list at some point. I want to try out some other brow pencils just to kind of shake things up a little bit, but I really do like this formula, and I like the fact that it's a micro brow pencil, but it's not fragile, because I have noticed some of the micro brow pencils I've tried in the past definitely break off easily, or you know, they're really fragile when you actually start applying them to your brow, even when you use a very gentle hand. And so this is really great to pick up at the drugstore, and now that CoverGirl is cruelty free, that's another fabulous reason to go on and purchase from CoverGirl. So wanted to share that with you. Then I was also able to finish off my Milk Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk. And so I am now into yet another pencil because this is a staple in my collection. I have used these for years. They are so good. So, you know, same song, like 15th verse at this point for how many of these pencils I've gone through, but it is satisfying to have that be another empty. And also, this is another one where I was kind of dealing with expired makeup. I talked about this in my Take Me Into 2019 Project Pan update. This is the Clinique Lipstick in ColourPop. And again, thank you for all of the positive responses on that video about customer return policies, contacting Clinique. For those of you that have sent me information about contacting Clinique, I really appreciate it. This lipstick has gone bad. It smells very rancid, and so I'm taking the steps to see what I can do to rectify the situation, but I am excited to share a dupe with you that I found at the drugstore when we do the December What's in My Makeup bag. So I'm excited to kind of try something different for a little bit, but still get the color that I love from this lipstick. So looking forward to that. And then in terms of concealer, I pulled in the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealers. I wanted to go on and revisit this. In fact, I'm thinking about next year doing like an entire throwback Project Pan of products that I used like when I first started my channel and see if I still feel the same way about it. So these would definitely be products that I have used for years and years and years, and I kind of walked away from them for a while. I have the shade Neutralizer and then Brightener, and I took Candace's tips. Her channel is Fancy That with Candace, about using them both together as an under eye concealer. She also uses them for eye primer. I've used them all over my face, just in kind of targeted areas to highlight, and I really, really do like the concealer. I'm just not crazy about the sponge tip applicators, since those get so, you know, just nasty, but really, really great formula. Speaking of which, eye primer. I'm still working on my Milani eyeshadow primer. It has gone missing for some reason, but I'm going to be working on that probably for a couple more months, so I'll go on and kind of share that in my December makeup bag. And then other than that, I've made big progress on my Too Faced sample of the Chocolate Soleil. I had to repress it, and so I'm going to go on and be rolling this into December, because I think I can finish this by the end of the year. So that is currently where the bronzer stands. And then I was able to finish another Whirl lip liner. As you can see, it is at the point where it is pushed inside of the cap. So I'm currently working on another Whirl lip liner that I had in my purse, just to kind of keep them moving through my collection, because I do just repurchase those over and over, because it is my favorite lip liner of all time, because it is very, very versatile for me with a lot of different lip colors. So that's it. I'm feeling good about being able to move through stuff. If you're also interested in eyeshadow palettes that I brought in, because I've thrown them into that Take Me to 2019 project pan, go on and check out that video, and you can see what I'm going to be subbing in. And then I'm also going to be posting a what's in my December makeup bag, because I'm deciding to bring in some different palettes, some different eyeliners, mascaras, and all that good stuff. So I hope you'll stay tuned and join me for that. So have a fantastic rest of your day, and I look forward to catching up with you real soon. See you later.